Hello and welcome everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, good to hear. I see we've got people chiming in from all over the world once again, and we are just getting ready to get started with our 50/50 crowdfunding webinar for a Tuesday, January 24th. And here we are, or here I am. As you may have recalled, the last couple of weeks I've been in sunny, warmer weather down in Curacao, as a matter of fact. And I was living in shorts and t-shirts. I'm back here in Canada, back here in Toronto, and it's back to sweaters. That'll change again next week as I get ready to travel once again. I see we got a couple other panelists with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this is a pretty cool webinar. You know, right now we've got 230 people on with us, and that number will continue to grow. But what this allows us to do is it means we don't get interference from all the hundreds of people that are joining us on these webinars, and we just have a select few of the panelists on with us. So welcome, everybody. As I said, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to go over on this particular webinar. And this webinar, it's meant to inspire, it's meant to inform. And during this webinar, as with most of the webinars, I made myself some points, but I really don't have, I haven't written down exactly what I'm going to say. But we do have lots to talk about. There's been lots going on. And once again, my name is David T. Rosen, and I am going to begin tonight, once again, with one of my favorite quotes that I first wrote in 2009. And it, along with another quote, which I'll also share with you as well, is what guides all my business decisions. So let's first start off with this one. And I think you're going to love it. I think it's going to sink in. I think it's going to resonate. And I think it's going to allow you to understand that the business systems that I put together and why I put them together. So a business becomes innovative when the doer cares about doing it right or better for the benefit of all. And when I put a business together, when I sit down and I take a pen to paper or I start tapping on the keyboard, this is what I think about. I think about you. I think about doing it properly. I think about doing it right or better for the benefit of all. You matter to me. And if I put something out that doesn't work, it means that you don't matter to me. So you do matter to me. One of the other quotes that I put that I love and I employ when I put together businesses, I say that if I build something that people want to use and share, well, then they will use and share it. And fortunately for us, people want to use 50/50 crowdfunding, and they have been using it and sharing it to a very great degree, something that I haven't seen before. Now, let's talk about where we are, where we're going, and more importantly, you know, where we are right now. So in 2002, I think most of you know this already, but I think it's important that you understand, you know, the business that you're dealing with, the foundation that you're dealing with, and the team that you're dealing with. So in 2002, I created the world's first global internet peer-to-peer exchange activity in the history of this planet. And that system is still providing benefit to people in virtually every corner on the planet today. Now think about that for a second. In 2002, which is almost 2 decades ago, I created a system that is now called crowdfunding. So essentially, I'm the father of crowdfunding on the internet. I'm not the father of crowdfunding because the first crowdfunding example that I can remember, or that I've read about, not that I can remember, I'm not that old, but that I can remember was in in the 1800s, when the Statue of Liberty was delivered to New York from France. And they needed to erect it, and they didn't have any money. So they used a crowdfunding platform to raise the funds so that they could keep the Statue of Liberty in New York instead of shipping it off to Philadelphia. So that's really the first act of crowdfunding, where a bunch of people came together for a common good. Now, as I said, I created the first crowdfunding system. I called it a peer-to-peer exchange activity in 2002. And since that time, that system has been modified by thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. And that's what we have. That's what we have today, which is crowdfunding. And today, crowdfunding, as many of you are now finding out, and surprisingly, many of you didn't find out, but what you're finding out now has helped tens of millions of people around the world, tens of millions of people around the world amass hundreds of billions of dollars. That's a lot of money. And all that money, it has helped people, individuals like you and I, it has helped businesses, it has helped not-for-profits, and it has helped to raise money for virtually anything. And, I've said this before, and this the most interesting, well, maybe not the most interesting, but certainly the most humorous crowdfunding example that I know of is when a person wanted a case of beer. He actually set up a crowdfunding campaign, went through all that trouble, and actually raised the money for a case of beer. So that was pretty cool. And let me say this as well. This peer-to-peer exchange activity, which is now turned into crowdfunding, is not the first time that I've had an impact on the entire planet, because as you know, crowdfunding has had an impact on the entire planet. And I've also created two other things that have changed the way people do things every single day of their lives right now. And I can tell you that the peer-to-peer exchange system that I created is not going to be my last time that I change things for the entire planet's benefit. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to brag. I'm not trying to impress anybody on this call, because I have a huge ego, but I am also very humble, and I know what it's like to start at the bottom and raise up. So I'm saying these things because I think it's important for you to know who you're doing business with, the foundation in which we are sitting on right now. This is not Mickey Mouse stuff. We really do things that are great, inspiring, and help people around the world. Now, as I say that, as most of you already know, I've recently released an enhanced version of that original system, which is 50/50 crowdfunding. Now, and which is why you're on this webinar right now. And when I released it, it went to massive, massive, massive success. And it is once again changing everything. We've heard of crowdfunding before, but everyone thought it was because maybe little Johnny broke his leg and you needed to raise funds because of the hospital bills, or maybe somebody needed to be buried, or maybe somebody needed to fund a big idea. But most people thought that you had to have a worthy cause. And you do have to have a worthy cause for most of those other systems. Otherwise, you won't get funded. However, with what we've done here in 50/50 crowdfunding, again, as I say, we have changed everything, because now it doesn't matter what you're raising money for. You can use 50/50 to raise those funds. And I can also say this. 50/50 crowdfunding has quickly become the most copied money-raising system perhaps in the history of the planet. So as Oscar Wilde once said, and if you don't know who Oscar Wilde is, he was a great writer, one of the greatest writers in history, as a matter of fact. And he once said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. So all of my imitators, thank you. Now, as many of you have seen, most of those imitators that came out. They've been really, really bad. Some have been good, but really at the end of the day, why would you switch? Because you can't beat 100%, which is what you get at 50-50. You can't beat almost 20 years of history, which is what you get at 50-50. And many of you have been building tremendous teams. And when you switch, you destroy your teams and you lose your credibility. So let me tell you what we've done here at 50-50 to date. Or let me tell you not only what we've done here at 50-50, but also let me tell you what we have done overall since we created the world's first peer-to-peer crowdfunding system back in 2002. And why we continue to be the leaders in this field and why you don't need to look elsewhere and why we will continue to be leaders in this field. Now, so far in 50-50, you and your team received 100% of all the donations. And as I said a moment ago, you cannot beat 100%. You, as the inviter, somebody who wants to give you a donation, receives half or 50%. Now think about this for a moment. If you invite one person, if you invite two people, if you invite 1,000 people, you will get 50%. And not only do you get that 50% once, you get that 50% over and over and over again. Something else that's really changed the crowdfunding industry is that because we are a peer-to-peer system, you get your donations immediately. That means there's no waiting, there's no middleman, and no company taking a piece of those donations. That is the first. We have changed everything once again. You also get a license. You get a license to own your very own crowdfunding system. So when you join 50-50, because there is no middleman, because there is no company, because there is nobody telling you what to do, because you are the boss, you get your very own crowdfunding system. And check this. You get it all for a licensing fee of as little as 11 cents a day. You get a system that you can raise all the money you want. You get a system that you can invite all the money that you want for as little as 11 cents a day. Right now, it was 16 cents a day, but at the end of this call, you'll understand that it can get as low as 11 cents a day. You also have no receiving caps, and you can receive an unlimited amount of donations every second of every day forever. I see some of the chats coming in. I don't get a chance to watch them all coming in, and some of the people are a little impatient. They want answers to certain questions, which we'll get to. Patience, my dear grasshopper. So as I was saying, you can receive your donations in hundreds of every second of every day. You can receive donations in hundreds of different fiat and cryptocurrencies, which makes it easier to spend your money or move your money around. There are just 3 simple steps to receive your donations over and over again. You can when you receive just 2 donations, think about this. And this is what's happened in the original system. When you receive donations from just 2 people, you are even forever. So as you continue to use this system for years and years to come, it will be basically free to you. There are 5 ways. Actually, by the end of this call, you will come to discover that there are now 6 ways for you to receive an unlimited amount of donations every single day. You can receive your donations simultaneously from all 8 levels multiple times a day. We are the originators of the peer-to-peer crowdfunding system, and we are also the originator of the world famous and one and only Mobius Loop and System G. And that's what keeps your team together and keeps you cycling forever and ever and ever without losing your teammates. So once again, we are the first and only to create a matrix system with no boards and no splits. That is amazing because that's what helps to keep your teams together. We are global. You can have multiple personalized websites. We have an automated system. And here's the best part of everything that we put together. And this is what we've done so far. And I expect that we are going to duplicate this by the end of spring. So far, our system And this is really important to understand because this is the foundation. Our systems have helped more than 10 million, have donated more than 10 million individual donations that have already been sent and received. We have served close to 1 million people all around the world, and close to $1 billion has gone into the people's pockets of people just like you and I. Just to summarize, once again, we are the experts, and we have been helping people around the world for almost 2 decades. We have seen it all. We have done it all, and we have corrected it all. And we continue to improve, enhance, and correct. Now, here's what we're getting ready to add. And I know I'm going to miss a few things here, but it's really exciting to know that we are listening to you, the team, you, the people that are using the system. You say you want to see something different. So we are listening. We're only 4 months young, and we have been listening for those 4 months. Some of the things we've been enacted sooner, some of the things we have taken our time to make sure that after we see how they work, after we do all of the testing, that these are the things you need. So here's what we've added to our system and why you never have to go to another crowdfunding system. Now, back in late November, early December, we discussed on one of the conference calls what we should do to ensure that all donations get sent and received. Now, let me tell you that 97% of all the donations that come in get sent and received. So it hasn't been a big problem. However, what we are doing now is what we discussed back in November, is that we are now going to implement so that the receiver has to have the first donation marked by the sender has to have the first donation marked by the receiver before they get put into the matrix. I'm not sure that we need to do it, honestly. However, based on some of the things that I've been hearing from some of the teammates over the last couple of weeks, we should do it. So we are going to do it. So from now on, or in the next, as soon as it's released in the next day or so, possibly by tomorrow, as I said, the sender will need to have the receiver mark first donation received before they are put into that matrix. That'll bring us close to 100% of donations sent and received. Through and we had to do some extensive testing. We've seen some other companies that have put this together, and I know that the way that they put it together, it's going to cause them a number of problems. We have done some extensive testing on this, and we know that what we put together here is going to be for the benefit of everybody, and it's not going to cause any type of road like slowdowns or hiccups. We really put some great thought into this. So that's number one. Now, here's something else that you're going to find interesting. And it's something else that's going to help you to understand, once again, that we are in it for you. We aren't in it for us. We are in it for you. So as I mentioned earlier, there are thousands and thousands of crowdfunding companies out there, and they've been helping people receive hundreds of billions of dollars. Great companies. There are great companies out there like GoFundMe, Facebook, as you know, is a great company, Indiegogo, etc. They've been doing crowdfunding. They've been doing quite well for quite some period of time. And they charge anywhere from 7% to as high as 35% to allow you to use their platforms. And then to top it off, they hold on to your money for months before releasing it to you. Now, if you had somebody who was injured or you had a death, you need those funds immediately. So I decided once again to become innovative and create a business in which the doer cares more about you than the business. From now on, you will be able to raise all the money you want the same way you would if you went to GoFundMe, Indiegogo, or Kickstarter, or any of those other thousands of businesses that are out there for free. 0% fees. Zero. So what does that mean? It means that not everybody who joins 50/50, not everybody who wants to donate to your cause wants to get into the cooperative, wants to get into the team crowdfunding system. They simply want to give you a donation. You will never again lose those people. You will never again have to go to GoFundMe or Facebook or any other system to have those people donate to you. They can donate to you through 50/50 crowdfunding, and you will immediately receive 100% of that donation. So if you need to raise $10,000, $20,000, $100,000, $1 million, $10 million for your big idea, you now have two ways to do it. You can do it in the cooperative, which most people want to do, and you will get 50/50. And the beauty about that is that when you get 50%, somebody else is getting the other 50%. That's the benefit of 50/50 crowdfunding. That's the benefit of the cooperative. That's the benefit if you invite others who are in need. But now if you invite others who need nothing, want nothing, but they want to support your cause, they can do so, and you get 100%. That's a total game changer once again. And as I said, I care about people, and I do this because I've been through difficult times. I slept in cars, and now I'm not. I want you to experience all of these successes. So we've also corrected it so a person can't get into the matrix. As I said, we're with that first donation, because I've got some notes here on the screen. I didn't make a sentence or anything, but I've got some notes here on the screen, and some of them I've duplicated because some things, when they are so nice, you like to say them twice. So I've got that written down there twice. Oh, here's something else that's huge. That's huge. And it's really huge. We've now we will be probably by tomorrow amalgamating 50/50 fast and 50/50 CF. So instead of having to have two systems, two logins, two licensing fees, you now will have one system, all under one roof, all under one login, all for one price. And that software licensing fee now will be $29 for all 8 levels. Or if you wanted to pay it for the full year, you can pay $39 and get that for the whole year. That's where it breaks it down to 11 cents. Now, let me also share with you, because many of our donors, they said, my God, no. I don't want to do that $25 matrix. I don't want to have to be forced to do that $50 matrix. I like it when I'm raising $250 or more. So we've done something else, because we are listening to you. We want you to have the best system on the planet. You already do, and we are making it better. So now, if you're already on the 25 level and the 50 level and the 150 and the 250 and the 500 and the 1,000, the 2,000 and the 4,000 level, if at some point in time you decide, I don't want to be on that $25 matrix, push a button and you will be on it no more. So now, not only do we have 8 levels and do we have them all under one roof, but if you don't want to receive $12.50 donations, push a button and you don't have to receive $12.50 donations anymore. You can also turn it back on anytime that you want. If you are in the $4,000 matrix, which is a lot of money, and maybe you think to yourself, well, I don't want to recycle again in that $4,000 matrix. Or maybe you have raised all of the funds that you want and need for your purpose. Just turn it off. They won't cycle again in that level. You can turn them all off if you choose to. And if you do turn them all off and you come back, turn them all back on again. So you can turn them off, turn them on, whichever ones you want as you go along. So that's going to be super, super cool. Another innovation that we are bringing to you because, like I said, we want you to have the best of everything. And remember, because we've been getting a lot of complaints about certain things. We've been getting complaints about not having the merchant system up. We've been getting complaints about support not being as we want it to be right out of the gates. Mostly everything else we aren't getting any complaints about. But remember, we are only 4 months young. So to make these changes in a system that is already in operation, already has close to 30,000 members, is not an easy thing to do. And when you do it, you have to take into consideration those 30,000 people before making these changes. So for those of you who might have gotten a little upset because of the fact you had to wait a little longer for those changes, understand, please, that we did it for you. We made these changes not in haste, but we are making these changes so that you get the best, you get the most, you get absolutely everything you want in this system. I know we got lots of other things to talk that we've done. It's just like, I mean, let me tell you, the things that we've done here, it just boggles my mind. Something else that we've done that you're going to see in the next couple of days is you're going to see not one new merchant service, not two, not three. You're going to see many, many, many new merchant services. So if you live in India, we got you covered. If you live in China, we got you covered. If you live in Toronto, we've got you covered. If you live in Boston, we've got you covered. If you live on the moon, we've got you covered. So watch for lots and lots of different merchant services, fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies. We have you covered, and you'll be able to buy your tokens. Listen, we've been going the last 3 weeks simply on tokens, right? And tokens have not been the easiest things for people to get right now. I understand that. I realize that, and I recognize that. I just didn't want to make a mistake with certain aspects again. But having said that, we haven't slowed down. Memberships are still through the roof. And it's because we've got a great system. People are patient and understand that we are fixing things. So that's what we're doing right now. We've also got a new great looking website. It's going to knock your socks off. It looks absolutely fantastic. We haven't changed the dashboard yet because we don't need to. It's a simple dashboard. You just point, you need to send donations, click a button. You need to receive donations, click a button. You need to see where your open matrices, click a button. So the dashboard will be changed at a point in time, but right now we didn't need to. But we do have an awesome new face, new look, very impressive. No more emojis. I'm going to be sorry to see them go. I love those guys, but most people didn't, so we're going to get rid of the emojis. So that will be ready. It's already done. We just got to attach a couple of things. So that will be done in the next little while. Something else, we want to address the support issues, right? Because as I said, that was something else that people found lacking, and I agree with them. It was lacking. We've now created new support. I've hired and I'm in the process of training. Some are already trained, hired and trained people all around the world. When we put up the new website, when you log into your back office, if you have a support question, you can click on the button for Africa. You can click on the button for Asia. You can click on the button for North America. So wherever you live in whatever part of the world you're living in, you'll be able to get support from people that understand your language and understand what you're talking about. Then it will be live support. And again, we are going to continue to improve upon that with the new system that I've already started putting into your back office. That one will take a little while, but we already have the support in the various other countries and various languages. about the sales. I talked about it almost a month ago. We have it. So it's not a myth. It's real. It's there. And we are getting ready to load it. I just wanted to, I'm not sure. I have no excuse. I should have released it already. But let me tell you, it is an awesome system. It's one of the best systems that you will see for a crowdfunding system, because it will allow you to put in whatever you want to write. It'll allow you to put in pictures. It'll allow you to put in movies. It'll allow you to share your campaign from your heart. It'll allow you to tell the people that you want to donate to you or that you want to participate with you in this wonderful 50-50 crowdfunding. It'll allow you to do that in a way you want. So you'll be able to do that, and that'll be up in the next couple of days as well. So once again, sorry for delay on that. My fault. I never blame anybody for anything. So 100% my fault. It's 100% my fault that it took a little longer for these new changes to get into place. And by allowing it to take a little longer, it's given people cause to switch systems sometimes, a few people to switch systems. I apologize for that. But as I said, we're 4 months young, but we are on top of everything right now, and you're going to see some massive, massive changes. As I've said on these calls on many, 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 many occasions, my mission given to me by God is to serve you and is to give you great ideas, incredible innovations, and ways in which not-for-profits, businesses, individuals like you, the opportunity to enjoy your full measure of happiness. Your financial success matters to this guy. That's why I work so hard. Listen, I don't need to work this hard, right? 10 years ago, I was rolling in dough, and still and I was working 15 minutes a day, and the money was flowing in. I don't need to work this hard. But I love you guys. And I know it's important that you have the opportunity to make changes. If you're disenfranchised, if you are unemployed, if you are underemployed, if you are in need, if you've lost your job, if you are suffering in any way, shape, or form, and a financial system, a financial tool can help you, I'm going to create it, I'm going to invent it, and I'm going to give it to you. That's why I work so hard. And I love it. I love the stories that I get from people. It drives me. It makes me go. When I was in Barbados, I was working just as hard as I am right now. When I was in Curacao, I was working just as hard as I am right now. When I travel next month and I go around the world, because I got lots of places that I'm going to for business in the next little while, I am going to be working just as hard for you. My friends, they'll be on a beach. They'll be chasing, pretty faces up and down the beach. I will be working most of the time because I care about you. So I don't want you to think that we were complacent. That's why I'm having this call right now. And that's why I said a couple of the things that I said a little earlier. I don't want you to think we're complacent, because we weren't complacent. Like I said, some of the changes that took a little longer to implement than you wanted were because we wanted to do it right. We didn't want to upset that entire apple cart because a few people thought we needed to make some changes, right? So that's why we're doing the things. And here's something else. I said this to one of the leaders the other day, because he was saying, so David, why, some people are leaving to go to another system, right? And I said to them, well, here's the bottom line. I don't know if it's exactly what I said to him, but it's along the lines. He fell off his chair laughing. So I said to him, when you go out on that first date, everything is perfect. Some of the same people that are now poo-pooing on me right now, they were saying the exact same things that they were saying about this new system. And we got dozens and dozens of imitators that have come out. They're saying the same thing about these new systems now. And they spoiled their teams. They've lost half their teams. It just doesn't make any sense. Because like I said, 100% is 100%. So when you go out on that first date, everything is perfect. When you go out on that second date, you start to see some flaws. And by the time they take their makeup off, all you see is that it's just simply another pig with lipstick. Every system has its problems. Every system can make some improvements. If you have benefited from 50-50, which close to 70% of you have, stick with it. Grow with us. We're 4 months young. We are going to make every single change possible for your benefit. And when you look at these imitators, have they come up with anything original? No. We are the originators. We are the innovators. We are the ones that are going to take you from where you are right now to where you want to be tomorrow. Grow with us. Stay with us. Let 50-50 turn your life into everything that you want it to be. Because bad companies come and go. Good companies make little improvements. Great companies react with vigor and crush all competition like little bugs. That's what we are going to do. We are going to show businesses how to do things correctly for the benefit of all, not just a few. Everybody deserves to benefit. Everybody deserves their full measure of happiness. Everybody deserves to sleep in late. Everybody deserves exactly what they want. We are a great company, and we are making the improvements necessary to ensure that we continue to experience those great successes. We have been doing it now for almost 20 years, and we will be continuing to do it for another 20 years and another 20 years after that. When you look outside, when you go into a store, you will always find that there are competitors. Coke has Pepsi, Ford has Honda, PCs have Mac. When a PC launches the Surface, do you all of a sudden give up your Mac and go to the Surface? When Honda launches a new car that has 500 horsepower instead of 450 horsepower, do you give up your Ford because you want a Honda? No. You stick with it because you know that those companies will make improvements if they want to stay in business. We've been in business for 20 years. We will be in business for the next 20 years, and we are here to help you. Something else that I just want to say just before I get ready to end this call, because I pretty much said everything that I need to say, and hopefully you're understanding that we are in it for you. We're in it to win it for you. We're in it to improve it for you. We're in it to make everything that we can do for you. On the news the other day, I was listening to something. It blew my mind. And I recognized exactly what the news was saying, because everywhere you go, all the insurance companies are owned by the same guy. All the furniture companies are owned by the same person. All the travel agencies are owned by the same person. All the car companies, everyone's amalgamated. Here's a fact. This is going to blow your mind. 26 people, 26, just 26 people have more wealth than 4 billion people combined. 26 people have more wealth than more than half the planet combined. I would use foul language right now, but I'm on this Zoom with you. That's messed up. We are going to change that. We are cooperative crowdfunding. We are team crowdfunding. And as I said, we are in it for you. Just in case you don't know what a cooperative is an association of people who have united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and cultivate their aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. I must say that again. A cooperative, and I'm reading this, a cooperative is an association of people who have united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and to cultivate their aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. Does that sound like 50-50 crowdfunding? And if it doesn't, replay what I just said, because that is what we are. We are a cooperative for the benefit of all of us. And just in case you didn't know what crowdfunding is, this is what the dictionary says crowdfunding is. And this is going to once again remind you that this is exactly what we are doing, because the dictionary says crowdfunding is the activity or process of raising money from a large number of people, typically through a website, as for a project, a small business, individuals, or any other purpose or cause they want. An activity or process of raising money, typically through a website. Webster's knows what we do. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's been my pleasure to be on this call with you. The team, the other team members that are on the admin panel. Let me see if they want to say anything. If you guys want to come in and say something, go ahead. They might be a little shy. I might have even put them to sleep. Who knows? But does anyone want to say anything? Francis or Kenny or
Hey,
Bill?
David, I'm here. Great call. Yes.
Trying to speak. I see you took your microphone off.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me?
I can't hear them right now, so I'm not going to drag it on. So just before I go, remember, greatness happens on purpose. So let's get busy with it. Love you guys. Let's make it happen. To the other panelists, thank you. To the well over 400, it might have even been 500 people that are on this call, thank you for joining us. Let's get ready to do the next call. The next call is going to be a barn burner. By the way, we've also got this thing streaming on Facebook. We might have thousands of people watching this thing right now on Facebook. Next call that we do, the next call that I do, we're going to do some other calls before the next call that I do. I can tell you right now, from my lips to your ears, we're going to have 20,000 people on the next call, because it's going to be big. It's going to be massive, and we're going to be talking about a lot of great stuff. This is Dave T. Rosen. Thank you once again for joining us. Love y'all. And until the next time, make it great.